10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to Little Blessings Online. This is our 8th episode and this is our season finale today. I hope you got your mug of tea. I'm drinking my Earl Grey tea as ever. Joe's on tea at the moment.
Yep.
Get herself going, which is cool. So get yourself comfy and get your nice chair. And today we have some really exciting stuff actually. We've got Mr. Donkey and Balaam make a special guest appearance. And we've got song time. And we have art time, and today's art time, I help and show you how to make a moving donkey. But first, Joe.
Yes, well, there seems to be a donkey theme.
There does.
With the art and the other thing, story. And so I was going to ask you, have you ever seen a real donkey? Have you seen a real donkey before?
I have seen a real donkey. I have petted a real donkey. I have sat on a real donkey.
I was wondering how many of you have actually seen one. Perhaps you may have seen one in the countryside or in a field, maybe on a beach. Sometimes you go riding on the beach.
That's where I sat on a donkey.
Have you? So
the beach.
You've ridden one?
I've ridden a donkey.
Fantastic. That was the other question. How many of you have actually ridden a donkey? We know that there's some stories in the Bible about people riding donkeys, and at Easter time, sometimes you get a donkey coming in the church and things like that. And people get a chance to ride the donkey. Well, I can tell you that I actually had a donkey. I looked after a donkey for a couple of years when I was about 11, about 10 or 11 when I was young. And I can show you a picture. And a bit of a strange name. I'm not quite sure why we called our donkey this, but our donkey was a grey, quite a large donkey. And it was called Gladys. Bit of an old name, but that was her name. It was a girl donkey. And I would come home from school, run off, and to see my donkey, and she would eat hay and straw, and I would give her. Well, they weren't allowed much vegetables, but it was all right for that to have a few. And so when I came home from school, I'd give Gladys a carrot. So that was really good fun. And I did have a little saddle, so I did try and ride her, but they're not like horses, donkeys. They're a bit stubborn, and she didn't really move very far or fast. So when I say I rode a donkey, more like I probably just sat on Gladys while she just wouldn't move. Or if she did decide to move, it wasn't very far. So that's my story about donkeys. So what we have is this amazing story about Mr. Donkey and a guy called Balaam. And some really kind of strange things happen in this story. And so just listen to this.
Now, in today's story, we've got a special animal, a donkey. And here's a thing you can do while I'm reading out the story for you. When you hear the word donkey, you could make an eat-all sound a bit like this. So donkey appears quite a lot. So when you hear the word donkey, let's get your best ear noises. Now there was once a man whose name was Balaam, and Balaam was a very clever man and was really rather popular. Because one day a nearby king sent all his best dressed people in their fancy cars with their fancy ties and their fancy hats to ask Balaam to come and see the king, because the king needed to ask something very important. Now Balaam knew he shouldn't go, but he really wanted to make the king happy because, well, Balaam wasn't very well off at all. He had to travel everywhere by donkey. And Balaam had his donkey equipped with the latest solar-powered Sat Nav, which gave Balaam a lot more time to chat to all his friends on his tablet because it told his donkey where to travel. This meant that Balaam could spend lots of time staring at the screen on his tablet, chatting away on Twitter and Facebook. Balaam hoped that the king might reward him with a proper way to get about, one with 4 wheels and an engine. So, with a loud mush, Balaam and his donkey got on their way. Now God really liked Balaam and his donkey, and really wanted Balaam not to go. But Balaam was ignoring God, and so God dispatched one of his bestest angels to help out. Now Balaam's sat nav was very good, and it had all sorts of things it could avoid, but not this. Because in front of Balaam and donkey, once they got past rather a lot of suddenly appearing signs that said, "Stop! Danger ahead! Make a U-turn!" was an angel, in the middle of the road, with his sword drawn. And then a rather unexpected chain of events began. Balaam's Sat Nav told them to carry on straight ahead. Balaam's tablet bleeped with his latest tweet going viral, and so Balaam told his donkey to mush. But Balaam's donkey, whose name actually was not Donkey at all, but Mr. Donkey, because Donkey was just his younger brother. Well, Mr. Donkey heard Balaam, saw the angel with his sword, heard the Sat Nav, and decided perhaps rather wisely that he needed his owner to get his head out of the tablet before he lost it completely and to turn around. Mr. Donkey began to come off the road through a nearby field because he decided the road really wasn't a very nice place to be right now. The angel, rather annoyed, watched as they started to go around him, and Balaam, feeling the bumps from the rough field, was very unhappy. He blamed his donkey for being silly, said "bad donkey," and sprayed water at his face and ordered them back on the road. The angel, realising the road was actually rather wide, decided to jump on his scooter and went as fast as he could push his legs to a spot where the road narrowed. As Mr. Donkey and Balaam got closer to the angel again with his sword in his hand, Mr. Donkey decided that a close shave was not what he fancied right now, so he started to try and squeeze past the angel through another field and through some low-hanging trees. Balaam was not amused. He was right there in the middle of shouting at the Sat Nav for being so useless when a tree branch smacked him in the face. Rubbing his sore nose, he went to squirt some more water at Donkey's face while shouting even more angrily at his Sat Nav for not knowing what it was doing. And then everything changed. Mr. Donkey really didn't like water being sprayed in his face, especially when he was trying to be so kind and helpful and protect his master. And God needed to get Balaam's attention, so he gave Mr. Donkey a very special gift. And Mr. Donkey lost no time in using this newfound skill. "What have I done to you that deserves you spraying water in my face so many times for being naughty?" Mr. Donkey asked Balaam. Now, Balaam had never heard a real donkey talk. He's seen the film, but he's never seen a real one talk. And he's so upset about the branch hitting him in the face, he doesn't even notice that Mr. Donkey is speaking to him. But he shouts back, "You have made me look like a fool. If I had an eBay account, I'd put you straight on there to get rid of you. Or, better still, I'll put you on Gumtree, free to a good home." "But I am the same donkey you have ridden all of your life, Mr. Donkey," answered. "Have I ever done anything like this before?" "No," Balaam admitted. Then the Lord helped Balaam see what was ahead of him. Suddenly, Balaam's shoulders started to sink. He saw the squirty bottle in his hands. He saw Mr. Donkey with a wet face, and the tough-looking angel in the middle of the road with his sword drawn in his hand. It was about this time that the angel decided it was time to have a cup of tea and chat with Balaam, and some sugar cubes for Mr. Donkey, who has been so very helpful. "So," began the angel, "why did you spray your donkey?" "That's Mr. Donkey," said Mr. Donkey, hoping he could use this whole speaking thing a lot longer yet. It was very useful. "Sorry," said the angel. Why did you spray Mr. Donkey so many times?" "Look, I've come to stop you because this road gets very dangerous ahead, and God doesn't want you to get hurt." Balaam looked at his donkey, looked at the angel, said sorry to both, switched his tablet to silent, and promises to be much more kind to his donkey, and listen to God better in the future, and maybe use his tablet a bit less. The angel puts his sword away, The stop signs suddenly disappear, and Balaam, Mr. Donkey, and the angel went to a pizza shop for some lunch and a long chat.
Wow, what an incredible story. I love that sound of the donkey, and I can say that our donkey Gladys would make that noise.
It's
when
a
she
real
got,
donkey sound.
Yeah,
It's
she
a
got,
real noise.
is it?
Yeah.
She got really excited, and that's how the donkeys let you know they're there, I think. And I've seen that. It's just a wonderful sound. And quite amazing, though, a donkey that would speak. The only donkey I can think of is Donkey from Shrek,
Yeah.
who would speak. But yeah, that was a really amazing story. Thank you for that, Andy.
It's all right.
So next we have up is our song time. And in our song time, we've got 2 songs for you to do the actions with. My God is a great big God, and my God is so big. So get space and get moving and try out these actions.
Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. He's higher than a skyscraper, and He's deeper than a submarine. He's wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And He's known me and He's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. He's higher than a skyscraper, and He's deeper than a submarine. He's wider than the universe and beyond my wildest dreams. And He's known me and He's loved me since before the world began. How wonderful to be a part of God's amazing plan. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God. Our God is a great big God, and He holds us in His hands. Yes, He holds us in His hands. Yes, He holds us in His hands. Yes, He holds us in My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are His, the rivers are His, the stars are His handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are His, the rivers are His, the stars are His handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are his, the rivers are his, the stars are his handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are his, the rivers are his, the stars are his handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do.
I hope you were able to do some actions there. Both songs about how big God is, and in the story about the donkey, that is amazing, isn't it? That you can get a donkey to speak for real. That's amazing. That's our God who is big and able to do that. So next we have art time. And art time carries on with the theme of a donkey, and Andy is going to show us how to make a donkey with moving legs, moving head, and even a moving tail.
So for today's art time, we're going to make a donkey that moves. So we've got a printout for you that you can get off our website. There'll be a link in the video comments at the end of this. And here is what we've got. I've cut one out, which we're going to use in a minute. Peter did a bit of colouring in for me. We've got pink ears and a brown nose. If you wanted to, you could just colour him in. That's absolutely fine. If you want to go a little bit further, what I've done is I've cut out a donkey. And because I thought it'd be interesting, I've got one of our pictures from a walk we had, nice background, and we're going to put the donkey on top of there. I've made this quite large, a bit too big really, for the picture, for the purpose of videoing, but you can make it a bit smaller if you wanted to, or if you wanted that, that's absolutely fine. So here's what we're going to do. We've got some split pins, which are these cool pins, that's going to make him move. We've got some teeny tiny split pins which we accidentally bought without checking the sizes. My hands are a bit too big and manly for these, so I'm not going to use those. We've got some blue tack on a coaster so we don't damage the table when we push the pins through, and here's what we're going to do. So we want the head to move. That's kind of important. So we're going to cut his head off. Don't panic. So then we're going to put a pin in there so his head can move like that. We're going to have a tail that can move. This can be a little tricky, but we'll see. Okay, there's his tail. And I'm going to make this leg move. As long as we remember where it all went, we'll be fine. It's all good. Okay, and we've got these bits that can move. So what we're going to do, using our blue tack, we'll get rid of this piece of paper just for a moment. There he is. He's a bit messed up, isn't he, really, at the moment? But we'll get him back. So what we're going to do is put the donkey on there, like this, so that the paper is crossing over on top of each other. Doesn't look perfect, but it's okay. You can always fix it afterwards. And we're going to push this through two pieces of paper into the blue tack, like that. Go through that hole, and then, oh gosh, very fiddly. So through that hole, through the bit at the back, and then these are called split pins because what you do is you split open the pin. And there we have a moving donkey head. There we go. And we're going to do some more of those bits. So I've got his leg here, which we're going to do. So one hole, I'm going to do two rather than at the same time. So there's 1, 2. That goes through that hole that we just made into the other one. Open it up. Now we've got a moving leg, which is cool. And then, of course, we have to do his tail. Pin the donkey tail on the donkey, so it won't hurt him. Trust me. No animals were harmed in the making of this. There's one. Second hole. Don't need that now. You could do different legs. You could get a different picture. You can do whatever you like, really. This is just one that we found that we're putting on our website for you. And there you have a donkey that can move. There's our picture. We can move his leg. There we go. There's his leg, turn around. There's his leg. We can move his head. And we can move his tail. Now, if you can do a better job than that, please do so. You'll probably do better than I can. This is not my greatest skill, but I had quite a good fun making it. I hope you will too. There'll be a list of things that you need at the end, but we'd love to see your photos. If you want to take a photo of what you've done, that would be fantastic. You could, of course, cut around inside the black so you can't see any of the black outline, and then it'd probably look a little bit less obvious, but we've done this just so you can see what we're doing. But you could have cut it out and then colour it in afterwards. That's a way around it. But there you go, there's a moving donkey. And you could colour him in, then cut him out. That's probably a little bit easier. Stick him on your favourite picture. So I'm going to do him, looks like he's having some grass. There we go. He's got his leg bowed. There we go. Tails up, he's all excited. Right, and there you go. There's a donkey that moves. I really had a good time making that, and I hope you do too. Our middle son, who is currently over there, can we there you go. So there's Nathan. Say hello.
Hello.
So he's driving the laptop for us at the moment, getting this all working. So he made a really, really good suggestion. If you get a hole punch where you want to put the split pin and you use a hole punch, then you can put it through much more easily. It'll move much more easily in the hole. So that's a really good plan. So this is our season finale for season 1. This is our 8th episode of Little Blessings Online. And we're really excited because we've got season 2 ready. It's written, it's planned. We've just got to record it and get it all sorted for you. And we're going to be having a break now for about a month. And on the 21st of September, we are going to be relaunching for season 2 of Little Blessings Online. 21st September is a Monday, 10:30 normal time, same place, Facebook, also on Instagram, TV, and also on YouTube. And we also push this through a new social media platform we're on called Ding Dash, which is awesome. If you're not on Ding Dash, you should be. It's brilliant. So that's where this will be. So 21st September. So we're going to take a break for about a month and have a holiday, try and get some more recording done, get ourselves ready so we're good for season 2. And we're very excited about all that's coming up in that. It's already written, planned out. Season 3, we're about halfway through that as well. 8 episodes to a season, so we're ahead of the game, which is really cool. So we hope you have a fantastic month. We hope you've enjoyed the last 8 episodes. If you miss us a lot, you can always go onto YouTube or our Facebook channel and you can watch former episodes. We also split up the art time and the story time so you can watch those on their own. And if any of these can help you do your own creative best, that will be fantastic. If you've enjoyed making a donkey, you want to take a photo of that, you can send that through. That'd be fantastic. Be really encouraging for us, and we can share it with others here on Little Blessings Online. With that, we're at the end of our time. There'll be a link in the comment section to the picture of the donkey. There's also going to be a link to the skit guys who do the whole Balaam and the talking donkey thing in a very different way from us, which is awesome. And with that, that's the end of our episode. It's the end of our first season. It's really exciting. Have a fantastic day whenever you're watching this. If it's Monday morning, whether it's Monday evening, whether it's on a Wednesday afternoon when you want a cup of tea, it's absolutely fine. So have a great time. We'll see you in about a month. We'll put some adverts out through our Facebook and whatever. And that's it for really. So bye for now. Stay up to date with the Berry Bunch. You can follow us online, www.BerryBunch.family. We're on Facebook.com/BerryBunch.family. You can also find us on Instagram and YouTube as well.